Cube Bros here. This is top 5 hardest cubes in my collection. 5 is going to be the least hardest. First is going to be the hardest. Now let's get into it. Okay, so the 5th hardest puzzle is the square one. This puzzle is not that hard. I can actually solve it, but it is a very hard puzzle when you're first learning because there aren't many tutorials, and it is very complexing when you're a beginner at this. My 4th hardest puzzle is the Calvin's 3x3x5. It is in a checkerboard pattern right now. It is a pretty confusing puzzle as I have actually not solved it ever before. I only have taken it apart and put it back together, but the closest I have come is from one layer not being solved. So yep, this is the 4th hardest puzzle in my collection. The 3rd hardest puzzle in my collection would have to be the Rex Cube. I have not solved it, I just put it back together. It's very easy to take the pieces out, and it's very hard because all the tutorials are very confusing, and only good one I'd have to say is Crazy Bad Cuber, but no offense Crazy Bad Cuber if you're watching this, even though you probably aren't, but you make pretty bad tutorials. The 2nd hardest puzzle in my collection is the Master Morphix. The reason it is so hard is because all the tutorials out there are by very newbie cubers that do not know a thing about making tutorials, and I'm not saying I'm good at making tutorials, but the tutorials out there are horrible for this, so yeah, I've never solved this. I actually have 2 of these. I have never solved them before. They're very hard. So, for number 1, I don't know if you've guessed it, but if you've seen my cube collection, you have seen it in this video. If you guessed it, guys, the missing link. This puzzle is very hard. You guys might be wondering why it's so hard. It looks easy. Well, what you have to do is you have to put all these pieces linked, and you can't turn the middle layer. You can only turn the top and bottom and slide them. That's really hard by itself. Well, the second part is there are no tutorials for this on the internet. I have searched forever on YouTube. I cannot find a single tutorial. I see walkthroughs, but they're not a tutorial, so I cannot solve this. And something else is you can't even take it apart, so I can't even have it solved for my cube collection. It's kind of frustrating because I like getting all my puzzles solved. So yeah, guys, this is top 5 hardest cubes. Stay tuned if you want to see top 5 easiest cubes.